Okay. I have a good one. Do you know why lychees like to go to parties? Because they find it upbeat. Cut. Do you know what can top this fruity, juicy marvel? I have a recipe for you. It's frozen lychee yogurt with a cherry compote. Okay, it sounds fancy, but it's really not. It's very easy, and I'll show you how. So we'll first start with making the cherry compote, giving it enough time to cool while we get the yogurt and the lychee ready. A compote is basically a sweetened fruit sauce with chunky fruit bits. Now I like to make things from scratch because I want to know what goes into my food, and I also prefer fresh and locally sourced ingredients. Now let's start. I've washed and halved the cherries and removed the seeds, and I'm using palm sugar for this compote. You can use any sweetener of your choice, and if you want to skip a sweetener, that's totally up to you. These cherries aren't that sweet, and I like my yogurt a little tangy, so I am using some palm sugar here. I'm just going to cook the fruit in the sugar along with some cloves and a stick of cinnamon for about 10 minutes until the fruit is soft. This will take some time depending on the number of cherries you have and also if they're ripe or not. So just squish it a little bit and see if it's ready. Once it's done, take it off the heat, let it cool. Take out the clove and the cinnamon stick. We don't want those chunks in the yogurt. If you like a smoother texture, then puree it once this cools down, and then you can just pour it over the yogurt. This is the lychee that I've cleaned and frozen for 8 hours. Always freeze the fruit before you blend it for frozen desserts. First, blitz the lychee and then add the yogurt. I've retained the water, but if you want to remove the tanginess from the yogurt, you might want to strain the water out overnight, wrapped in a cloth bag with a strainer and a bowl, and that will give you a nice creamy texture. I like yogurt to be tangy, so I've retained the water. And sweetener is totally optional based on the sweetness of the fruit and your preferences. I'm using a bit of honey, and I'm also adding some vanilla for flavor and a pinch of salt, again optional. Now let's blitz this until it has a smooth texture and freeze it for a couple of hours. Take it out and then add some lychee chunks for a nice textural contrast. Mix well. We'll let this sit in the freezer for about 3 to 4 hours before taking it out again and then remixing it. So take out the frozen yogurt. Now we're going to remix it a little bit. On this, now we're going to add the cherry compote. You can layer it however you like it. If you want to mix it completely, that's totally up to you. I want to create some nice ribbons, or at least I'll try to do that. And we're going to freeze this again for 6 to 8 hours, and it is going to be ready to serve. Alright guys, do give this recipe a try and let me know in the comments below. Signing off, Sunny Bhatt.